Hello and welcome to the Kobold Cafe. Tonight we're playing the Frozen Gods in GURPS 4th edition. I'm Luke, the GM. With us today, as usual, we've got James.
Hey, I'm James. I'm playing Archibald Smith, who's currently putting on a new set of armor.
We've got Tara.
Hey, I'm Tara. I play Etho, who's unconscious and almost dead.
We've got Botchit. We've got Everoth.
Hello, I am now Botchet, playing Nebra today with you.
Could hear bees buzzing in the background. He's struggling with the keyboard. What is this device? We've got Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I play Lady Katya, and I'm looking forward to heading up the next mountain, playing with the new toys we have.
And finally, we've got Jared.
Hey, I'm Jared playing Eric. Eric was quite excited to find intact ruins. Usually they're not intact and they are ruins. So that was cool.
Yeah. Alright, that's everyone. So, where are we up to? You are on your way to the big mountain. You've been there before. Thanato. It's important this time because people have returned. You visited a bitchin' library with lots of knowledge in it. Met some of your question things. I think it met all of your question things, actually. What are you pointing at there? What's over there? There's a brown square. I don't know what it's doing.
Oh, it's a green square.
It's green. My eyes. I'm sad now.
The
Game's
top of the
cancelled. I see. It's a green top hat for the mountain, which is indeed there. Along with something shiny, very reflective. You were making a stop to where the library informed you that there would be some hidden weapons, arms, armor, useful items that were allegedly still intact based on the library's information. As you arrived, you spotted something approaching from Thanatos Peak. Like a tiny ball of sun getting bigger. Tiny ball of sun. Seemed like it were also something else reflective. You made a quick scramble for the cave you'd uncovered. When it hit the mountain, about another, 1,000 feet or so higher than where you were, triggering an avalanche that trapped you inside. You opened all the doors, you found a scary night guy, you got greedy, and he started attacking you.
I believe it was Etho that got greedy. Of course, we all
ended up in a position that she's in now. And Botchit, trying his best to fix her up, knocked himself out also.
They're fine, right?
Etho and Botchit.
Etho, I think she was the one in critical.
Yeah, I'm at really low HP still, but I'm not dying anymore.
I think I want
I
some...
think. Negative 3 HP?
Not dying.
Actively.
Not actively dying.
Yeah, just wait until Botchet wakes up and gets some FP back and you'll patch back up.
I'm still unconscious, though.
So he is.
Makes waiting even easier.
0.
I think it'll be alright to skip a bit of time on, because I think the most of you were probably planning on looting what you could from these shelves that descended back into the floor. You'd found you could chip away, especially using the sword that the knight had been wielding. That thing is really heavy. Like for a sword of the same size, it weighs as much as if it were lead, even heavier than lead. And it's extremely shiny, and no matter how much you've been bashing up stone with it, it just has not scratched or chipped or bent the blade whatsoever.
It's a shame it's so heavy.
Mm-hmm. Like, I forgot to stat it out, but if you took a two-handed long sword and triple the weight, that's probably accurate.
Damn.
Yeah, you're probably using this thing by putting the tip to the ground and then just slowly picking.
Using it as a pry bar.
Yeah. I bet it makes a grand pry bar. While you're doing that, collating things you find, there will be lots of breastplates, greaves, helmets. It looks like they could make full suits. They clearly had lots of fabric and other materials as part of them at one time, but those have withered and perished. Most of them are full of just dust or like a frosty slime that crumbles in your fingers. But the metal itself is good. Like it might be steel, you're not sure. It's
got a green hue to it.
Yeah, I think there is a slight greenish tinge. It's very solid. There's some items of mail. There is some fabric-y seeming things that have survived. It looks like provisions to make tents, but you can't see tent poles anywhere to go with this tent fabric. And there's also a couple of cloaks that are really long hooded, and they're kind of mottled greeny brown colour. Oh no, what am I on about? They're white. There's some mottled greeny brown and there's some that are white in this store.
Eric will grab a white cloak.
Put it over top of your orange one.
Just in case, see how it feels.
Mm-hmm. It's a heavy fabric for sure. I think most cloaks probably are though anyway. I doubt it's much heavier than the one you've already got, if at all.
Are we able to talk to that ghost person from here? Katya asks.
I'm sorry, ghost person?
The librarian, I think she called herself.
Oh, right. I don't know. Librarian, are you around?
Etho farts in a sleep.
Because this stuff is really neat, but I don't know what it does. Doesn't it usually take a little while to figure out how to make Tove artifacts work?
Centuries. Well, no. Decades. For the ones that have been found out how they work so far.
Mm-hmm.
There are lots of very strange little trinkets, and you pull out a shiny, lightweight metal case. The metal itself is extremely thin, almost like a foil, but inside it's got 3 neat rows of 12 really vibrant, bright green stones. Cut into like perfect cabochons. I think that's the one. It's like a little rectangle with beveled edge.
I mean, these are gorgeous, but I'm not sure if they're going to help us. Eric or Archie, thoughts?
A cabochon is a gemstone which has been shaped and polished as opposed to faceted.
I know that.
I'm sorry.
Archie's eyes roll over blank and he turns and says grimly, "A cabochon."
I'm sorry.
Everyone roll initiative. Archie, you are berserking. Please attack everyone.
He turns and says, Bonjour, Larry, mon cabochon, yon Pierre Poilier.
Fuck France.
What's this heathen tongue he speaks in? They are beautiful, and I'm not sure you know how they might be helpful, Archie.
Do they look like the stone in the sword?
Similar?
I see what you did there.
Katya is definitely collecting trinkets. She's not just admiring them on the shelves.
Mm-hmm. They take up a lot less room if you take them out, these little placeholders in the box. But there's a kind of extra beauty to them in these neat little perfectly shaped slots.
I mean,
for 'em.
you don't break up sets.
That's very true.
Eric will grab one of the cabochons.
You just broke up a set. No, there'd be some loose ones. Some of the boxes didn't make it. Eaten through by magic mice. It's like Magic Mike. But he's hungry for boxes.
And then he will tap it to his other magic stones. Because tapping things together seems to work.
It really does.
Are you talking about your groin?
No comment.
Yeah. It glows. The cabochon, as you tap it to, like, not the first one, but maybe like the fourth or fifth Tove stone that you touch it to, so it does something. Glows, and then there's a little ping, like a sound of a spoon tapping against a wine glass. And then the light starts flickering slowly, but very rhythmically, off and on.
That might be a good sign.
That white cloak that you picked up suddenly turns into a beautiful Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Huh.
It's flashing rainbows across it, and they dancing across the fabric. It's also emitting a pale light as it does it. And then it stops, and you hear that ping again, but a couple of times, like ping, ping, ping. And
Any
then
like?
go on.
I'm sorry. Finish and I'll ask it.
And then the rainbow flashes away, and it's back to pure white, but you can see that it's got some Tove runes blinking, wiping themselves away, and then reappearing in bold black characters.
Eric will wrap the gemstone in the cloak and put it safely away in his bag.
Alrighty.
I was gonna ask, is there any like symbols of Arete floating around here?
Yes, quite a few of the objects are inscribed with symbols that you recognize from the Bible.
Is there any like rosary-like items?
Yeah, there's a few. They'd be
I will grab the
individually stored.
Okay.
So it'd be a small clasp-like box with what seems to be a very nice rosary in it. Although it's mostly just a really finely made metal cable with only
Okay.
3 or 4 beads on it rather than the full beads that you used to.
Okay. Well, I will grab one.
Stick it in your pocket, throw it in the bin, do whatever you please with it. I'm not in charge of you.
Are we-
About rosaries,
Yes.
do our people have an association with certain colors and certain concepts?
Ooh, good question.
Like rosaries.
You seem to be leading somewhere there I'm interested in.
The colors of the different beads in a rosary are very symbolic.
Mm. If you
And I can't tell you more because it's been like 15 years.
No worries. So, yeah, I think that's enough. I can work some on the fly. I don't just want to thieve directly from Catholicism every time. Yeah, they would. There are indeed different coloured rosary beads that are invoked in different prayers, I suppose. Used for different things.
I was just going off rosaries as an analogy. Like, I meant the colors in general.
But yeah, there are significant colours in this world's as well. And indeed, like the rosaries here all have, the beads are all in each of the colours that you're used to. Which would be red, green, and pale blue.
And what color is death?
The pale blue. There's maybe some flower associated with it as well that's that colour.
In that case, are there any light blue stones?
I see where you're going. Yes, there are.
Eric will repeat the process with that stone. And the cats will spook each other.
It doesn't seem to do anything. It's a lot heavier than the green one, even though it's only marginally larger. None of these come in a set, these are all also individual.
I do think if we're going to figure out how to use these, we need to find someone that can tell us.
Eric's just going to find a place to kind of affix it to his crossbow and then see if everyone else is done.
Alrighty. I think the only other conscious people are Katya and Archie. Aside from all the Atuni who are mumbling in Atuni and digging and putting a wet flannel on Etho's forehead and then botch it after it's got all Etho's sweat on it. Botch gets the bloody off rags. Etho's got like a crafting train of clean rags.
Are they going to be okay?
They'd be fine, someone says, as they throw another bloody rag into the botchet pile. Etho not bleeding on outside at the moment.
That's good.
We dig to outside. We make small hole with spear. We not suffocate, we don't think. Snow very hard. It cold outside, freeze it fast while we're in here.
Well, that's good. The hole.
We keep working. Rest overnight.
Is it going to take days to get out?
One night.
She nods.
And
We have
someone-
not tried the other doors. There could be another way out. There certainly must be another way up.
She shrugs. She says, "We dig hole in snow. We can do that.
Thank you.
There is food also. Eat if you're hungry."
That's probably a good idea.
And they'd have started cooking up a big stew of various things. Snow. So watery, and yet there's a smack of jerky to it. But there is indeed two other doors. This one, I seem to recall, was kind of busted
I don't
up.
think either of them were opening. Was the issue?
Correct. Nothing that you had seemed to affect them.
Maybe we just start pulling stuff off of the big guy and from that room and just tapping it to the door.
Maybe try the crystals on the doors too.
I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Just spend an hour tapping stuff on a door.
Yeah, it's fruitless. That door seems immovable. Barely a door at all.
What happens if we use the sword as a pry bar to pry it open?
You start breaking away at stone, but you see there it is very deep. You tire yourselves out, and probably like a couple of inches through, you find more of the shiny metal embedded in the stone in the wall, where you were prying it out, like as if the door's jacketed inside the stone.
Okay.
We may just need to wait.
Hunker down and get some dinner.
Mhm.
Alright.
If we're feeling up to it, we should probably take turns digging too.
I mean, you've got roughly 20 or 20 people going at it right now.
And to be fair, she suggests it. She doesn't actually do it.
There's just politeness.
Pretty
Maybe
much.
Your porter who's trapped in here goes and does some digging after you say it.
think Archie will help with some digging.
Doing some very sneaky GM things.
It's all right. We'll look at the feed later and see what you're doing.
You'll probably see in a few seconds, honestly. Because you're all kind of sat around, bellies full, just finished eating, kind of wondering what to do with yourselves, can't be bothered to go and dig because you're still tired from prizing out that door. When suddenly you hear whirring sounds coming from the wall over there and vibration.
Over where?
Where's there?
The door to the east. Sorry, that is vague.
That's west.
Right. This might be south. We don't know.
Did someone do something? It's making noise.
Actually, I think Archie is gonna like draw his swords and be ready. That cannot mean
Sure,
anything.
we'll get
good.
cocked.
I said whirring sounds. Yeah, that's about right. There's suddenly a very loud, very, like, it makes your heart leap in your chest. Metal against stone. The sound as if one of these doors fell against the floor from the top of Thanato. But it sounded
Jeez.
like it came from just on the other side of that door.
Oh, it's an elevator.
And then this door slowly
Eric says.
drops into the floor, revealing a tiny chamber.
It appears our patience has been rewarded.
With a closet?
There's a hot draft coming out from there, and as you step in, Archie, you see that there's no ceiling at all. And you look up, and there are very faint glowing gems in the wall. The far one, set going what looks like infinitely upwards.
What happens when I touch one?
The first one's actually too high to reach. The first one's probably about 3 meters up. And then every 3 meters there's another one. That hot rushing wind has got a strange smoky smell to it. Brimstony. You've smelt it before in the east in like these big fumy bogs that make men dizzy and faint.
Okay.
Is that
I'm
about the
gonna-
right size distance for Tove second floors and third floors?
It is 3 meters is roughly what these Tove ruins separate floors by. Or closer to 6, actually.
Oh.
So the first one's 6 meters up or 3 meters up?
First one's 3 meters up, but Tove architecture generally has
So, leaving it in the scabbard, I want to grab Edgar's sword and, like, tap the hilt where that stone is to the other stone. Like, holding onto the tip, thus leaving it in the scabbard.
You say tap. Do you like pull it away fast?
Yeah, just like a little bonk.
It does briefly glow as you tap it against there.
Well, put it against it.
Yeah, it's like as you wobble it there, as it gets closer, it glows brighter. And then when you're holding it against it, it's glowing really bright. In the distance above, you hear another metal clanging sound. It vibrates out around the walls, but it's extremely faint and distant.
Do you hear that? What is
Yeah.
that?
Draft changes slightly.
I
Like
don't
it
know,
almost
but
feels like the air's being changed direction. It's
where's that
suddenly
wind coming from?
cold air from behind you going up the shaft.
I don't know.
In the very far distance, you see the furthest light out blink out. Catch you, Eric. Eric, you
Mhm.
can hear it. There's something coming down the shaft very fast.
Eric will take a couple steps out, wait a couple seconds. Archibald, perhaps you should get out of there.
You know what? Archibald's not stupid.
And thud. Something just hit the ground there. Something that
What the hell is that?
something that had blood and bones.
So something just splattered.
Something just splattered, yes.
What the hell?
Was the door
Something
closed
jumped?
or open?
The door remained open that whole time. So
Are we covered in guts?
Archie and Katya and Eric in a fine stripe down the middle. You are sprayed. Yeah, it is very gross.
What the hell is that? I say, wiping the ichor out of my eyes.
As you do that, something else lands on top of it.
Eric moves away from the door.
There is a hideous scream from up that shaft. Not human, but not fully animal, corrupted. You hear wings beating, and then suddenly a very, very sickly looking crag falcon falls out of the hole. Oh, I never associated it. I've got to go to a different page to get its token. My bad. It does not look well, because it did not fall neatly down this hole, you predict. But it lands in there, flapping its wings and looking very agitated. Archie, up close, you recognise that same gory, smelly black ooze from the bear. And just to note, this token, it seems to be a bird with a deer's head. It is not.
You?
It looks like this, but that were the best bird token I could find. So disregard token. Bird look like that.
Okay.
But it's flapping about in there. And then when it catches sight of your Archie, a few drops of the thick black ooze drip from its face, and it will lunge forward at you. Let's see. I'll just roll them. It's kind of surprising. It would have gone all out, so it. But it's also really. It misses. It lunges out at you and misses with its talons.
Ah!
Can you see yourselves on the turn order?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Etho, roll me HT, please.
Okay.
She probably felt that through the floor.
Yeah, this is all enough to wake people up if they're in a waking up state. And a good 4 hours have passed since then. 10, and you're at -3, so yeah, you'd be able to recover consciousness now. You'd probably stir, you're very groggy, in huge amounts of pain. But you would blearily eyed become aware of the situation by about now, after all that noise. Botch it, likewise.
Right about now?
Yeah, right about now.
Luke, you might want to set seconds to 0 and move it, because currently
From
time
the
passes
brother.
before Budget can move.
Also, do you want to add any ladies to the mix?
Oh yeah, I absolutely should. There's a couple nearby. This is a pointless combat, really. This thing's going to die in 1 second. And while other things are falling down this hole, nothing else seems to be doing as well. And it is, for the moment, just making a big mess. But there is a sense of urgency to it all, for sure. Archie, why don't you go ahead and make your attack, seeing as you'd be the first one up that's probably going to do anything significant.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking take this thing's head off.
Do I have the size modifier? Did I note everything down? I didn't. I think it's just 0, though.
Okay.
Size 0 is pretty big for a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big burb. Thanks to the magic of this sexy sheet, I can now just generate its hit location table in Roll20 as well.
Are you kidding?
Did you miss? Where is this thing again? Biplane. No, it's avian. And you missed, did you say?
It doesn't have the rolls on it, though, from what I can tell.
Ooh, critical miss. No, it's not got the location number. 8 on the critical miss table is... Weapon turns in hand must take extra ready maneuver before you can use it again.
Okay.
Etho, you're awake looking at that thing. Do you start to stir, or do you think this is a fever dream?
If I do anything, I just pass out again. I'm gonna scooch, like...
No, once you've recovered from consciousness after being stabilized, you just move around as if you were reeling still. Because you're below a 3rd HP. But you don't have to make consciousness checks every second anymore.
Even though you're -3?
Yep.
Okay.
I checked it all out in Jared's game, where in the first hour of the first session, I got nutted to within an inch of death by a zombie.
I will change. I will change postures.
Change posture maneuver. Archie, you're not back up yet. Eric, you drew a crossbow.
Eric cocked it ages ago.
You did.
Yep, so he's ready to fire, and he will.
Darkness penalty is like probably only -1 right next to that torch that Archie's holding, or is maybe dropped on the floor.
And is it absurdly warm in here or no?
It is pretty warm in here, yeah. Above freezing for sure.
Torso.
Aye. Hit. Roll a d6, please. Oh, nice. Roll damage, please.
Nice.
Also, he did put that light blue stone, like it was put on his crossbow as best he could.
Mm-hmm.
He says hopefully.
Yeah, the dice say much less hopefully, I'm afraid. The Crag Falcon, straight up dead, though, from that. That's a brutal shot. You take out most of its insides, and you,
Was that vitals because of the one?
yeah, bolt fully clears it.
Good shot.
You now see that the things that are falling are all animals, Archie. Etho, you get yourself stood up. Turn order's not really relevant right now, because just about all these things are dying.
It appears we have found our way out.
Do we
Stay
know
away
what the...
from there until the bodies stop falling.
Mm-hmm. Do we know what the black stuff
Don't
is?
want to be in there when the bodies hit the floor.
Do
I
we know
see
what
what
that
you
black
did there.
No one cares about the black stuff, Katya. Hey, you're like screaming for help, and it crawls up both of the legs, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" It goes into their eyeballs. Join us. They start speaking French.
I suppose if you can't beat them, join them.
It tastes good. You like it?
You're thinking climbing up the shaft, though? It was really tall.
You filthy boy.
Spit out the blood. Just
Yeah,
a
there is.
big hawking blood lately.
Yeah, lovely. Botchit, you're awaken up now as well. Etuni are gathered around over there. They're like, what is this? They're making anti-demon hand gestures. It's just the middle finger. Back up! Back up, ye twats.
Oh, I was asking. I pick up a torch as I start looking around, and I was asking, how much fatigue have I recovered?
By now, you roll me. No, you don't need to roll me a HT.
It has been hours.
Yeah, it's been hours. You'd be at full.
Oh, awesome. I look around, and then I hear he took off. Look at the blood, and I say, "Oh dear, let me look at that." And I just slowly move on towards her and do another medical. How much do you say worth missing?
The healing, you say?
Yes. How much of her health was missing?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
But it'd take you longer than just an instant to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'll start working on it, and I'll take the amended time then. That's my.
I mean, I'm not over there anymore.
I am making my way there to do it. Like when I get there, I'll just check my time. That's what budget is doing, basically.
Etho, you should be resting. But what is this abomination?
The goo.
I think for all this, Archie is just literally standing in front of that door, and anything that comes through, he's just gonna freaking murder it.
Occasionally things do survive the fall, especially now that that room is packed with a pile of bodies probably past head height in the center. It's a hideous scene, grisly to say the least.
Well, I gotta be honest, guys. I feel like maybe, just maybe, we should leave.
I mean, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. She can't stop looking at it because it's ridiculous.
The occasional poke.
Yeah, just as you put and there's all manner of animals dropping down here. You've never seen them together in the same place like this.
I mean, that thing was empty when it opened, right?
Yeah.
Where are they coming from?
Up.
There's
So-
certainly a way out.
After 10 minutes, there's not been one dropped. For another 10 minutes pass of like one dropping every minute. And then a good 10 minutes pass without any more arriving.
Do those birds live alone or in groups?
Usually,
And there's a roll.
perfect. They'd be in groups when they attack.
Was it just birds falling, or was that other things also?
Other things also. There's been a few of them birds. Those are the ones that survive the best on the way down. But there's been mountain cats, like what you fought at the hot springs. There's been crag hounds, like you've noticed around these areas before. There's even a young giant goat. Barely, like that. The last thing that falls is a young
Huh.
giant goat the size of a horse.
Giant goats.
Perhaps the base of those birds' nest gave out. Perhaps it was built on top of this shaft.
Well, they all seem diseased also. Like maybe
Yeah,
something's
it's-
drawing them?
It's the same thing that got the bear, like making them all crazy.
You heard about this, Eric, but you didn't get any specific details beyond a giant bear had held Princess Matilda hostage at Frostvale Army Camp. This lot showed up and killed it. When they saw it were covered in this gunk, they burnt its body almost immediately.
Perhaps we should leave. Our new weapons might work wonders against the avalanche there. Or trigger a new one.
I mean, can we tell which ones are the weapons?
Out of character, huh?
Out of character, you said our new weapons will work wonders. Have we found anything that we've actually identified as a weapon?
The sword that the knight
You saw
had?
Eric hammering away at the floor with a booming
That's fair.
sword.
Good point. I'd forgotten about that thing.
That would
And
indeed
sure, we'll go do that.
make a useful tool for digging. And we're in about 30 minutes. You've made a hole big enough that a skinny person could crawl through.
Wait.
Oh, roll for it. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yes, indeed. Sorry, I was waiting for you to say something else. I've not lost audio, have I?
Nope, we can hear you.
Okay, just double checking there. So yeah, you would swing the sword you've found here, the strange new one, at the icy hole they dig in, and indeed you feel it slow down, grip against nothing, and then come out against the snow, blasting, and it just forces a huge chunk out. There is like a shower of dust and a couple of Ratuni scream at you. What are you doing? Be careful. careful. But when it clears, you have indeed made a little bit of a hole. In 15 minutes, you make a gap big enough to see outside.
Great.
Just
Let's
like-
keep working on enlarging that.
Yeah, I mean, it takes very little effort, and I meant to be more specific. You could get out there now. You can walk out the door. There's just a blanket of clean snow out there. No, that's incorrect. It's stained black, and there's rocks in it. Dark ones, and there's a strange smell in the air. It's probably a bit smoky too. Straight up walk outside.
Yeah, definitely.
This is doing my head in.
I assume our old man has had some time to rest as well.
Yeah, he's back at full FP. You hear a thud, like 100 meters or so away, it seems like. In the distance, you can see a little puff in the snow where it landed. It's not snowing at the minute, but there is a thick covering right here. You were on a hill before, and now it's kind of flat for a good 100 meters out in front of you.
Well, go investigate. Something's out here.
There's another thud. Roll me perception, please. The sky is really dark also. Like dark rain clouds.
Mhm.
But extra dense and low, and you can barely see past the ceiling of them. Also, I think it's nighttime by now, but that doesn't bother most of you when you're outside. It's things falling out of the sky.
Go up to one of the things that landed. Is it what things are falling out of the sky?
It's buried itself deep in the snow. And it's burying itself deeper still because it's hot and steaming. And when you get there, it's a big, really lumpy, jagged piece of rock.
Weird.
Perhaps we should head back inside.
Yeah, definitely.
If they're falling everywhere.
Why are there rocks in the sky, though? It's super weird.
Crazy.
So you head back inside
Mm-hmm.
to the room with the petting zoo vending machine.
Yeah. Botchet, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing just fine. Don't worry about me.
I'm less worried about you than your patient.
She will take me more time. Don't worry about her. I got her. And not sure if you want to roll right now, Luke, or later.
You can give me a roll now. Show me the IQ roll.
I'm gonna do 3 fatigue just to, for sure, get her over 0.
Did you hear Isabella sneeze?
Did indeed.
Cool. Success by 3? Yeah.
That sets me at 3 HP.
Mm-hmm. And I think I want to say there's not much more you can do beyond that with this healing talent. Like, you've already healed more than a full multiple of HP. Probably like 2 multiples altogether in the last 24 hours. I think you might be running low as well on some of the salves and supplies that you'd like to be using. But yeah, you're definitely a lot better for now, Etho. Still in incredible pain, still reeling, probably.
I'm a big girl. I can push through it.
Looks up, pushing through reeling rules. You'll be fine after another day's rest, though, because you are a strong lass.
And independent.
TM.
Modern, even. Alright, maybe not modern.
The animal's quite smelly.
Am I seriously the only one worried about the weird black stuff?
No, I just don't know what to do about it.
Pray it away.
It's like fire. I feel like fire is a good option. But I doubt it's all that flammable.
And there's a lot of it. Maybe we should just
Yeah.
leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, I just generally wouldn't want to touch it.
The
So
Atuni, a bit anxious. Should we rest, or should we prepare to leave? Etho, what are we doing in Atuni?
I'll go to the other side of the corner, kind of roll up into a ball and go, sleep pile.
We rest. Sleep pile.
Very different cultures.
The all-consuming sleep pile approaches.
Damn, it is a sleep pile.
It's like Katamari Damacy. It's coming for you. And they would take periodic watches, of course.
Do
Yeah,
anyone,
it's the warmest way to sleep, guys. You need to see the damn light and stop being Puritan weirdos.
it's part of our self-identity. Do any more animals continue to fall?
No. But Eric, are you staying at that entrance?
Pretty close to it.
Roll hearing for me, please. Failure. Okay. There's the occasional low thump, but nothing much. Give me a vision as well. At probably straight up overall, really. Maybe -3. critical failure. You see people approaching. Looks like a group of men. Some on horseback. They're about
How far away?
100 meters out at minute, but they walk in slowly up. There's a long line of them, and it almost looks like they're walking up to surround this place.
Are they walking single file to hide their numbers?
And no, they walk in the opposite to
Oh,
demonstrate
I
the numbers.
see. I see. That's what you mean, long line.
Yeah.
They're not sand people.
No, they're fronting about the numbers, which you can't really make out because this smoke in the air is dense and restricting visibility.
Eric will go get Archibald. Archibald,
Yeah. What's
there
up?
are people outside.
Oh shit.
A large number of them. I don't know where from. I don't know who loyal to.
We should
I don't
douse
wish
all
to cause a panic.
Let's douse
Yes,
all the lights
immediately.
in here.
Yeah, you actually doused them.
I'll do it.
Oh wow, full on. I can't see a damn thing. um, is there light from the outside? Like it's not pitch
Yeah,
dark outside,
Yeah, they would
right?
be.
Okay,
Correct.
so
There
we could
we
even theoretically just get away with taking a torch
I
and throwing
fixed
it
it.
over. Okay.
Theoretically, I could put global illumination on, but I like the ambiance that it gives you, especially in GM view.
Yeah, I say we just
Yeah, you can.
douse the lights and look out the hole. Like I'm gonna take position up here,
Mm-hmm.
ready
I'll
to
try to
kill
take
some
position
fuckers.
further away. And Eric will put on the heavier, well, more complete white cloak he picked up recently.
Uh-huh.
And he'll just toss the stone in a different pocket, trying not to make the cloak start changing from a nice camouflaging white. And he'll try to crawl for a better position.
Alright, stealth, please. And Archie, give me a vision.
Also, it is very dark.
It is very dark. Archie, I'll need your vision at more like a -6.
It does not matter.
I gave you 2 rolls, the better one first. Just preemptively.
You're probably good. So it is pretty much flat in front of you. This hole that's been dug out is at an incline up. Like the snow was above your heads in this doorway. And now you're in a fairly flat space, about 50 meters out in every direction.
Sorry, I'm a little bit lost from the darkness. Where are we supposed to be?
I think our 2 fighters went outside to look into something.
Oh, okay.
So like Catcher and Botchet notice that you've gone missing almost definitely.
I mean, Eric came back and got Archie, so there's probably some degree of awareness that something's going on out there.
Yeah, Archie moved some lights around. The Atuni are kind of just watching carefully. The couple that are on watch don't say anything or wake the others, but they'd just be in the main room here, gripping the weapons tightly and looking suspiciously at Archie when he leaves. You can still make out that long line, Eric, but it's dark and fuzzy.
Okay, is it a straight line or is it kind of curving around, cutting us off entirely?
Curving around, like it may well circle you entirely up to the hill that's behind you, about 10 meters off.
Okay, Eric will just stay put a few meters away from the hole.
Yeah, I think Archie's just like looking around, like I don't see anything.
Because he doesn't get a +5 to negate the darkness penalties.
Nope. You're out there for 10 minutes. You feel the chill. Definitely, it's cold night. I believe it's around. I'm like looking to different windows for the temperature. I need to go to a different tab.
Also, if you want this to be deep mountains, just wait like 5 seconds.
It's already in there and it looks very cold. Minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's
Oh,
not
hey,
very cold.
right. I just added that like a minute ago. I didn't check to see if it was updated.
Radical. So minus 30 degrees C, minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're in your full winter clothes and parka with gloves, hood, boots, mask, you're looking at a -3 net. No, +2 overall is what I mean, really. But you both figured that out, it looks like. And you're fine. So yeah, 10 minutes past. Give me another vision roll, please. Both and yous. Eric. -3 again. -6 for Archie. Looks like Eric makes it. You can make it out now. It's not people at all. It's animals. It's a whole parade of animals. What you thought were men on horses was actually giant goats and their horns. What you thought were people walking up are mountain cats.
Okay, Eric will just try to stay still and blend in with the snow. Actually, scratch that. He's going to get up and... Wait, how far away are they?
It looks like they might have been slowly approaching. They're about 40 meters off. I need to
He'll just crawl the dozen or so meters back inside.
Mm-hmm.
He does not want them smelling him. Animals approach. Strangely. Get everyone up and ready.
Okay, yeah, I'll climb in the hole and actually maybe you should, because I've got a better chance of holding this narrow hole than you do. I did not mean it like that at all.
We've got Catcher climbing up the shaft.
Just like this.
Archie holding the narrow hole.
Well, there's like this choke point, and you know Archie's got a much better chance.
Well, if you're into that.
Yep. Just yes. I've derailed. Sorry.
Eric will go back and wake the others. Or I suppose they're mostly probably already awake, just tell them what's going on.
Yeah. And the
Animals?
Spring into action. Go on, Catcher.
Animals are out there?
Approaching in a manner unlike any animal I have seen before.
Are they diseased like the ones over there?
I did not get close enough to tell. Regardless, be ready.
Mhm.
If you have climbing supplies, perhaps see what you can do about that.
I do about.
Shut up.
I mean, we can go up the thing. It's just, what's the point?
The point would be to escape the hundreds of animals approaching us.
Ah. Yeah, all right.
Mountain cats, plains hounds, craghounds, giant goats, dire bears.
Yeah, I get it. Do we have rope? She heads over to find some rope.
Yeah, there's hundreds of meters of rope, most likely.
Mm-hmm.
This is very climby, people. I think now is probably a good time for a break. So we'll be right back in 5 or 10 minutes. We know complaints from my players.
Sounds good.
My players. My own. Delicious. We'll be right back. We're back. The group are holed up in the cache of strange magical objects. I'm going to say they managed to open this door. This door opened itself, and shortly afterwards, strange diseased animals started falling down it. A couple of them survived the fall, tried to attack, but Archie quickly dispatched them. You decided to rest through the night. Outside, you managed to tunnel through the avalanche. It's smoky. Dark rocks are falling from the sky. And just after what you think is about midnight, a whole big group approached, seemingly surrounding this hole that you've dug out. Eric thought they were people at first, but on closer inspection you've seen that they're all variety of animals. Animals that would never be in this kind of close contact to each other that you'd see in nature. Not that you're all knowledgeable about nature in much ways, but at least enough to know that, like, giant goats and mountain cats don't play nice. And everyone's just been woken up. I think, Katya, your plan is to see if it can be scaled in there.
Yeah, she's gonna gather up the rope we've got and a few pitons and a hammer for it, and head up and see if she can find a place other people could go.
Give me a climbing roll, please.
I think we're past the pretense of she has a Tova artifact that lets her just climb.
Very well. I meant for hammering pitons, though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's not going to actually use the pitons unless she actually finds somewhere to go.
Oh, okay. Very well. Yeah, so you're scrambling up there. You realise after a couple of minutes that it's actually slightly curved.
Okay.
Or rather, at a slight angle. The walls remain parallel. And you think the angle maybe gets ever so slightly less steep.
Interesting. But still way too steep for people to actually stand on.
Yeah, absolutely. You do see lots of evidence of the animals falling down this hole.
Scratch marks and such.
Yeah, fur caught in between a couple of loose bits of rock.
Mm-hmm.
It gets smoky as you climb further.
Where does the smoke seem to be coming from? Above?
Above, yeah.
She'll keep heading up, but if the smoke does get to the point where she's coughing or having a hard time, she'll stop.
It doesn't impede you when you reach an opening. This cold air blowing in, but it's thick with smoke. The shaft does continue upwards, but you're in a small room with it's pretty much the size of the shaft doubled.
Still, though, it's
Carved
marginally
out
big
there.
enough for a desperate.
And
Group.
there's a gap. It's missing a wall that looks out over the side of the mountain,
Oh,
but it's not really that steep.
and it does continue up further.
Yeah, the shaft continues up further than this as well.
I think this is the point where she's going to make that climbing check to put a piton in, and then head back down.
Alrighty.
And then she heads back down to let them know what she found.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they're still alive.
It's an almost 20-minute round trip, even with your magic skills.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, what are you doing?
Anxiously watching.
Yeah. Are we just holding this cave?
The animals are completely motionless.
Wait, we're in a cave? We're just gonna go start the end of the world.
There's an old ancient spell tome out there reading itself, begging you to look at it.
About how long do they not move for?
The whole 20 minutes that catches there. Climbing that.
After about 5 minutes, they aren't moving.
They shift occasionally, like move the weight around on the hooves or trotters or paws. You can kind of make out the bigger ones breathing, the rise and fall of the shoulders.
If they charge us, we could rebury the hole. And then hopefully find a way out up that shaft. Katya went to make her way up the shaft.
Archie?
I'm sorry,
Anyone?
what? I mean, I think for now I was guarding this door.
Well, after 5 minutes, the animals aren't moved, and
Okay. Well, I guess that's not an option. So, what, we gotta go up the tunnel? Let's go up the cave. Fuck it.
We're waiting on the rope.
and then you'd like see after the 5 or 10 minutes, anxious waiting, rope fall and hit the floor. There's only a couple of meters spare left, and then only a few minutes later, Katya drops down.
Hey guys, any news from the animals?
Just standing out there.
Well, I've mostly just got bad news. It keeps going up past where I put the rope in. There's a landing up there though, about the size of the shaft itself. In theory, I mean, I can keep going further, but I'm betting that the shaft does eventually exit. But we might have to do this in sort of
Stages.
Stages, yeah. And there's not a lot of room up there.
There was a way out up there.
Oh, was there? Oh,
yeah.
cool. Never mind.
It would just narrow. Like, it weren't really a much better exit than down here. It was just barely big enough to fit a train of animals in.
Fair. But it might not be surrounded by animals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you poked your head out and couldn't see any animals, that's for sure.
Alright, then. Rewind that.
It's hardly a fun-looking surface to walk across, but it's a lot better than vertical shaft.
So bad news and good news. The good news is there's a way out up there. The bad news is it's going to be a rough climb.
Great. Let's do it. Start climbing. I'll continue watching the door.
No, you go up beforehand and protect them on the upper landing. I'll wait down here.
Sure. Okay. I go up.
I'll stay with Ito.
Strong
No,
boy.
you can't climb, old man. Just go with the rest of them.
We need to carry you, Etho.
I'll be fine.
We carry old man already. We carry you too.
If they go last, they can be affixed to the rope and pulled up.
Precise, says one who can speak a bit of Eldritch.
I'll remain here until it is just us remaining, so that I can collapse the tunnel if need be.
I'm going to take a last pass over the artifact room, just in case.
And there's more than you can
You
carry,
find a
really.
magic climbing kit.
Jetpack, hover boots.
Mostly she just wants to spend some time ogling it before she has to leave.
Yeah, looking at all the beautiful things that you can't take with you.
Mm-hmm.
But you've loaded your porter up with as much as you can bear to watch him carry. And I think you're leaving behind one of your fur parkas because it is covered in blood.
Yes.
It cannot be scrubbed
absolutely.
out at this location.
It's alright. It's much warmer out there these days anyways.
Your porter started trying to scrub it out. But you saw him looking exasperated and covered in blood.
Just leave it. We need the extra weight anyways.
No.
Everybody up?
People start climbing. It's slow going. Probably takes an hour to make this climb for most averagely healthy people. I think I need a climbing check for going up a rope. Archie nailed it. So yeah, you have to stop to rest frequently. I think with that roll, you find yourself hammering pitons into rest on. To just like stand on and lean against the wall.
It's probably a good idea.
A nuisance that Catch you didn't do this on a way up.
Would have taken a lot longer. Besides, he knows what he's doing. Apparently.
But yeah, that makes it a lot easier for the less able people coming up behind you. And you'd start piling out at the top. Dark, smoky. That stink in the air.
Do you guys know where that smoke's coming from?
Oh. But we can probably find it. Like, and then see where, like, follow it back to where it's coming from.
It's kind of just thick in the air everywhere.
Oh.
But it seems to be a lot denser up here than it was down at the hole at the bottom.
I mean,
You can't even see
that would make sense.
the bottom of the mountain. Like, you're looking down a steep hill, rocky, snowy, and at a certain point it just drops off into nothingness. Grey mist. Superman, Nintendo 64.
By climbing this mountain, one thing that I didn't think of is now we're just on top of this mountain. It's surrounded by animals.
Did you think the rope was the tough climb?
Yeah, you're not at the top yet. There's still the shaft going up, and you
Oh,
can get out here. It's just not going to be a pleasant
Well,
or quick
but-
climb down.
we're not on Thanato. Like, this isn't Thanato, right? This was the
No.
mountain next to it. Like,
Mhm.
so
It's
it's
not.
the
It's
point
not
to-
even the one next to it.
Yeah, so why do we need to summit this one?
We don't. We need to go
Because
down.
there are dangerous animals at the
Oh,
bottom.
yeah.
Around in the base, yeah, possibly hundreds.
Were they around the entire base of the mountain, or just the entrance?
No, they were around the entrance.
Yeah, they'd surrounded
Alright,
the
okay.
entrance.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, it really does kind of seem like something's controlling animals. Like, I know it sounds crazy to say, but right?
Yeah? They got that weird ichor thing going on.
Yeah, not crazy at all based on things you've seen this past week and a half. You would, I think it's safe to assume that it is the Technicae.
Mhm.
I feel like that is kind of the conclusions that you'd be drawing. Especially Archie, give me theology. Yeah, like, and so saith the demons shall command the beasts of the land and the skies and turn them
Okay.
against their brethren or something like that.
Is there, like, an apocalypse story that is coming true?
More like the story of an apocalypse that already happened.
Okay. So, kinda?
Kinda, but not really an apocalypse. More like something bad that happened far away, according to people far away from here.
Okay.
So I guess the next step is get off the mountain and head for Thanato.
Sounds like.
Alrighty, takes about an hour to get everyone else up.
Do the animals remain stationary?
Give me one more stealth, please, and another camouflage if you like.
From within the cave?
Yes. Failure by 2, success by 4. Okay. Pretty much motionless, but after 30 minutes of surveying, you do see that they have inched ever so slightly closer. Every time they shuffle, they take in half a step less. And they're all shuffling just randomly and slowly enough that, like a water clock or an hourglass, they're inching closer, and now they're only 20 or 30 meters away. And you can make it out that there might be 100 animals out there. Still more than you'd ever want to fight, especially when they're rabid and like this, vicious. I don't think rabid's a thing. I think bewitched is what it'd be.
Right, Eric will go help Etho and Boschet get tied into the rope, and then he'll make his way up right before they get pulled up.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
climbing.
You're climbing.
What's your HP?
She's
3.
She's
I'm
probably still a
fine.
better climber than most people.
Just wondering if you need a little bit of a boost.
I'm
what's your HP?
fine.
She starts climbing away ahead of you. As
Do you want to check?
it pretty much just get turned into a big sack of supplies and botch it in his man bag, getting pulled up.
Well, this is quite a bizarre adventure.
There. See, I'm fine.
All right. I trust you. I just worry about you.
Did you add 100 to that? It didn't show up.
What? It didn't show up?
No, it's done something weird, but
8 of 16.
no, it's I see when I hover over it, it says 16 plus 0 plus 0, 100.
I didn't do anything.
But I don't know what that means. They all say it.
They all say that for some reason.
Must be some macro foible. I don't need to dwell on it.
Dwell.
I'm dwelling hard, bro.
Mhm.
You get to the top.
Dwell.
Time passes. A few of you are quite tired. Do you want to try and make a bit of a camp up here, or was the plan to head straight down and leave?
I think both. The plan was to head straight down, but we should probably camp.
Sure. We'll camp.
I imagine a lot of people are pretty tired after the climb up, and it's another climb down.
That's very true. I think this is achieved mainly by sealing the exit with tarps and furs, rather than by producing a tent. It also blocks a lot of the smoke. It seems to definitely be coming from outside and rather than down the lift shaft that carries on up. Lift shaft, what the fuck's one of them? What am I on about? It's just a whole
Mhm.
big pit, big old pit for dumping animals in. Clearly.
Those pythons could cause some awkwardness, though, if it actually gets turned on.
Ooh. No, I was thinking
Yeah.
about animals sliding down there. You ever seen Freddy Got Fingered? There's a scene where he's making a skateboard ramp and he doesn't put a nail in all the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got myself there.
Your impression sounded like the Sideshow Bob break sound.
I was making that sound a lot the other day, but I can't remember why.
I just can't believe that fucking Freddy Got Fingered got brought up.
What a film. It's a classic. It's great. I love it. It's pretty bad, but it's great. Everyone go watch it
The
now.
90s.
Secretly, they're actually sponsors.
Just you wait for the next game coming up soon.
Yes, we are sponsored by Tom Green.
Got that Tom Green money.
Oh, that explains why this is so poor.
The night passes. You would wake up rested at dawn. There is food to be had. We don't need to track supplies at all.
Excellent.
Etho, I'm sure you will recover some HP naturally.
Yeah, I do have that fast healing or whatever the hell it's called. Rapid healing.
Give me a HT check, please.
Is this a healing roll?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So you'll get your natural healing of, I think it's 2 with
Yep.
rapid healing.
If it goes to the next day has a lot more snow.
Thank you. And oh, so it does, yeah. Heavy snow as you wake up. Also mixed with ash. It's falling grey, and you see now that it's mixed with ash.
Sorry, I have to do an aside, but a few years ago I was in BC doing some university stuff, field school, and we were outside, and it was raining a bit of ash because of the fires.
Mm.
And there was a person there whose name was Ashley, but she went by Ash, and we just found that really funny.
Sorry.
What a day that were. But yes, the smoke isn't as bad. You don't feel like the visibility is still ridiculously low, but it's at least bright enough to see clearly for 100 meters. You don't hear or notice any of the soft thumps of stones falling from the sky.
I guess that's an improvement.
And you don't
We
see
should
any animals.
I was going to say we should probably try to be pretty quiet too.
Alright, now we can either make our way back down and go around the mountain, or make our way down from up here and continue on to the other one.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm game for the direct approach. It's cold, it's miserable. Let's get off this mountain and get to Thanato. We know it's warm there.
Out of character, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
As good a plan as any.
I mean, me and my have really good routes on this side of the thing, of the mountain.
It's true, not necessarily to get to the top, but to get high up it and probably near enough to find new routes.
Like, I bet we're just like, all right, this way, yo, come on.
It is a very surreal day of travel. It's cold. Everyone give me the HT checks, please. Net plus 2s unless you got extra things. Oh no, it's a little bit warmer today, so net plus 3s. If you lose any though, you also lose... If you fail by any, you lose a HP due to frostbites. You're all wrapped up, cozy tight, you are.
Nope.
Oh, botch it, lose 4 HP. And not 4 HP, just 1 HP and 1 FP? Maybe 4 FP?
Botchet did not use the parka.
Yeah, Bachi, you have a parka.
I should. I just did not have the bonus.
Also,
Ah.
Luke said at a +3, so you're fine.
Still a failure by 1, I think.
So that's -1 HP and -4 FP.
-1 HP and FP.
Okay. Even with the parka, he was just a little bit cool. That's all. He can't feel his legs.
Too soon.
Yeah.
No, that was actually perfect.
But with the snow falling, there's that strange muffled aspect to all the sound around you, and occasionally
Very Silent Hill.
very, very Silent Hill. No air raid sirens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Occasionally you hear distant crumbling behind you up this mountain, like rocks falling. And by nightfall, you're at the bottom of it, making camp, ready to start taking the route up Thanato.
You guys think the other group made it?
They'd probably
Hopefully.
be arriving by about now.
I figure with the weather, we could have beaten them by a few days, or they could have beaten us by a few days. Hard to tell.
Yeah, but we've got people that actually know the terrain and
True.
far less of us. And we got to use a boat to get close.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of used a boat to go further away.
That's true. But we're coming at a better angle.
The point is that we used a boat.
The point is that you used a boat. Pimping, balling.
All right, shall we head up the mountain?
Resty up, and up you go. Don't need any climbing rolls, it's more just slow hiking up the mountain now. One solid day straight before you make camp, and the air's a lot clearer today. In fact, it's blue sky directly above you. And as you look across at the mountain behind you, it is a huge pillar of smoke rising into the sky and darkening it and everything beyond.
What do they do to that thing?
So a whole day of travel.
A whole other day of travel up the mountain.
So the 21st.
23rd, yes. Like
21st.
21st, sorry.
Oh yeah, that is a blue sky and cold as hell because of the blue sky day. With a what's it called when computers don't add things right and they have that weird single digit at the end of the stuff? Because that's what you've got in the highs or Fahrenheit. That
I don't know.
off by 1 error.
Post in the comments.
Like an overflow?
Is this an overflow error? Let us know in the comments.
No. It's negative 5.44 0.00000000000001 Fahrenheit.
Yep, that's a machine number issue. I'm not sure what the error is called, though.
Now I need to know. You rest again. We still don't particularly need to track supplies, and a couple of the Atuni managed to catch some fresh meat for the evening's supper.
Nice.
There was a lot of fresh meat a couple days earlier.
It is if you're willing
I don't know about fresh.
scrape off the stuff.
Is there any sign of any groups heading before us?
Anyone got tracking that they'd like to roll? Not going to tell you the penalty because that's got clues in it. Or bonus. Lol.
I mean, if it was a group of like 20 knights.
Yes. Or 100 animals walking side by side
True.
to front
Very true.
position.
Very intentionally not hiding their numbers.
You do spot interesting signs, Eric. Mountain goats heading away, like they direct opposite direction to what you were walking all day. You tracked 3 or 4 mountain goats that scrambled down this hill in a hurry in the last day or two. They probably already dead.
Animals?
Hmm?
What scrambled down the hill?
Giant goats, mountain cats. You find mountain cat fur in a couple of patches where it looks like they slid haphazardly over some stones.
There were animals trying to get off this mountain very recently. We should be wary.
Any sign of the black stuff?
No, you didn't come across any.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You start your journey up for the day after a quick breakfast. Rougher going than the day before. You start to get to the time where you'd normally be taking lunch, and one of the leaders of the group says to press on for a couple of hours more, because there's a vertical climb coming up that's going to need to be done. And as you round a corner, you do see this jagged, past vertical in places, cliff face that you're going to have to climb. Nothing like the one on the other side, but still pretty daunting. It looks
There's no easier route up?
not unless we take 2-day walk.
Very well. Here we are.
We are here, yes. And then a few of them start roping up and checking their pitons and getting ready. And they kind of do it in teams of 2, side by side, getting set up.
That's smart.
So they'll be using 2 ropes next to each other. Climbing checks, please, from everyone who's not just in a man bag getting pulled up.
Can someone roll for me? I'm on the ground.
You eating too much?
No. Just on the ground.
Just the ground.
But I have a skill of 16.
I did a roll for you. You're fine.
I did another roll. You're equally as fine.
Equally as fine. Is your effective skill really 9? Eric?
Yeah.
Cool. It'll take you a while. You'll slip in a couple of places. Swing on the rope a bit haphazardly. Bosh it. There's a moment where you find yourself slipping out of your man bag. Give me a DX check, please.
Nope.
Oh dear, you failed it.
And there's no new budget.
Yep.
Kinda. Give me a climbing check, please. Success.
Damn.
Strong arms.
Yeah, like the rope that you're being pulled up by gets caught around a rock, and you start twisting, and then you slip out of the bag entirely, and you find yourself just gripping on with your arms as your legs dangle.
Stop showing off.
Next time you will see me moving around on a pot and a hammer.
You end up just grabbing the rope and clinging to that harness that you were in. As it...
For dear life.
Yeah, pretty much. But you'll make it to the top by nightfall, all with very low FP. And from there, it's already a lot warmer. Like, as soon as you crawl over the ledge, there's no snow at the top.
This feels like a good place to camp.
Mm-hmm. It's still a good couple of hours climb, it looks like, up a steep rocky hill. And you definitely don't want to be doing it in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the sun's setting behind you, you can see trees ahead, a few, like a couple of kilometers away maybe.
With the sun setting, do we have a better view of sort of the profile of the smoke?
You absolutely do. So it's thickest and still billowing in a thick column from roughly halfway up that mountain.
Near where the entrance was? Or somewhere else?
A lot higher up, but in line with where the entrance was.
And I suppose more importantly, it makes the sunset gorgeous, right?
Oh yeah, the sky is like red and orange and vibrant, glowing purple at the edges of the smoke. And where the wind's blown it, it's just streaking a long, dark line across the sky.
Nice.
The profile of the mountain's changed as well. You looked at that mountain from up this one quite a bit a few months ago. And
True.
from where the smoke's billowing, it looks like there's been cave-ins and avalanches and landslides, and it's clearly quite a bit shorter than it was when you started climbing it the other day. There are faint sounds like thunder coming from it as well, that have been rolling across intermittently all day.
It's probably for the best we're not still there.
As you've come up this mountain, you've not really been able to see what's at the top. But now I think you can also make out the tip of a huge reflective droplet standing tip pointing directly up. It seems to be suspended in the sky above the trees, like a few meters away from them, right at the very top. You can barely make it out, but after staring in that direction for a while, you make out the silhouette in the darkness.
That's super weird.
And you camp the night, and this feels like it might be a good place to end it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Any scenes that anyone would like?
want one last healing check for Ethan?
It's been less than 24 hours. I still. Oh no, wait. What am I on about? It's been more than 24 hours, but I still don't
Speaking
think
of
you'd
which,
be
though,
able to repair
natural healing as well.
that. And yeah, naturally healing would probably have sorted it. Oh no, don't you need a full day of rest? Maybe not with
Yeah.
rapid healing.
Oh, fair.
But Archie could use some healing.
Oh really?
Yeah, took damage last time. It just didn't seem as important.
How many are you missing?
8.
I'll go with 7 and patch you up with Oh wait, you're missing 8, so maybe I can
Yeah.
go with 5.
I don't think you'd have that much FP to spare after this
I have 8.
climb.
You said I lost 1. And I used
But like climbing all day, and then
Oh.
being at the top of this. Oh wait, you've been mostly in a bag though. So no,
Carried.
you'd have 5 FP. You've been carried. What am I on about? Yeah,
so
you've got
5.
Luke checked his.
checking Discord.
But to answer your earlier question, I don't have any scenes. Tara, as a player, is a bit dead tonight.
Mm-hmm. No
Fair.
worries.
I think that falls you completely, Archie.
What's up?
I think you're completely full. That's 9 plus 3.
I mean, I just needed 8.
Yeah, I think I overused some FP, but I got you back to.
Cool. Thank you.
And next week, we make it to the top and all get murdered.
Okay, so yeah, it's no, not at this moment. Aye, you rest up, Eric. You do find yourself fiddling with the blue cabochons. And after holding it against a few others that you'd already made glow before, it starts to emit a very, very quiet whistle. But you can hear that it's just ever so slightly doing something inside. And just a few seconds after that, there's a loud crack like a whip that rings out from whatever that reflective thing is, waking everyone up. This is, or like anyone who'd just fallen asleep. And suddenly it starts glowing bright blue, like a raging fire in your palm. And yeah, we'll leave it at that to start up next week. Friday usual time. I think will we be all be available? Check Twitter for any rescheduling. With a Kobold Cafe, I'm Luke. I was the GM today. We had Tara, who is on the ground.
I'm on the ground because I was sitting in the same chair all week.
I'm sorry.
So I'm on the ground now. But yes, I'm Tara. I played Etho. Hopefully I'll have less emotionally drained energy next week.
Hopefully. Let's all hope so.
Yeah, it was a long week.
Check the date that this were uploaded for context. We had Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I play Lady Katya, and she has all kinds of doodads that she doesn't know how to use now,
Doodads,
which is fun.
Gizmos, whatchamacallits,
Thingamabobs.
thingamabobs. We had James.
You got 20. Sorry.
I'm
Thank
James.
you.
I played Archie. Archie didn't really do anything tonight. Thought about making a deal with an octopus lady.
Octopus lady.
So you could get a hunky man.
So I could get me a hunky man.
Okay.
In these times of COVID, I would totally do that right now, because Grinder's out.
Wah wah.
Yeah. Well, moving on, we had Everoth.
Hello, I was Everett playing Botchet, the Legless. He's basically a healing potato with storm arms at this point.
Mobile artillery. Still got some flame casks.
That's true.
And finally, we had Jared.
Hey, I'm Jared, played Eric. Eric got to touch some gemstones, and he also got to go outside thinking that he was gonna maybe be the only survivor if a bunch of people massacred his buddies, but they were animals.
Were you going to sneak away? It's great.
Yeah.
Well, that's all there is. We got a website, thekoboldcafe.com. We're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Kobold Cafe. Do you know if Star Wars is happening on Thursday?
The season finale is happening on Thursday.
Oh, season finale of Star Wars on Thursday. This
Could be a
on-
two-part.
Could be a two-parter. This on Friday, Dark Visions Chapter
In a week
2
or
coming
two.
soon. Look forward to
On
that.
like the 22nd? 22nd. Sunday, 22nd.
Ooh, Sunday the 22nd. Dark Visions Chapter 2.
Book 2.
Book 2. Chapter 1. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.